Hello lovely people, and welcome to this week's video. My name is Philippa and I teach yoga in Mid Wales in the UK, and I'm also starting a new online class at the beginning of 2025. So if anybody is interested in joining me, then you can get in contact with me via the email at the beginning and the end of the video, and I'm really happy to give you information about that. If this is your first time doing yoga with me, welcome. Do please give me a like if you like what I'm doing, subscribe to my channel, that's really helpful, and making a comment is really great as well. So today we're going to be working, again we were doing it last week, so if you're following the videos in succession, then we're working on a little thing that we're doing, a little course thing. So we're working today again on the Manipura Chakra here, so being really aware of the midriff, the middle of the body. So this is a yellow light here. It's to do with standing up in your truth, it's to do with being really clear with your boundaries, it's about self-confidence, it's about putting yourself out there, etc, etc. There will be a couple of poses today where it might be useful to have a belt, or a dressing gown cord is fine. So see if you can find one of those before we get going. Anyway, so we're going to start in a gentle seated position like this, closing the eyes or lowering the gaze. And I'm going to invite you to bring your awareness into your nose, feeling the air gently moving gently in and out through the nose. And we can also bring the awareness into this place in the centre of the body, so just above the navel there. And if you're good at visioning, then you can imagine a beautiful yellow light radiating from this place in the centre of the body. As you breathe in, you can imagine it expanding, that lovely light, and as you exhale, you could just try and imagine yourself dropping deeply into the earth. So we'll be with that for a couple of moments. Lovely, so we're just going to make some movements with the arms to begin with. So I'm going to invite you to bring your arms out as wide as you can. Take them behind you as far as you can. And then as you exhale, give yourself a big hug, taking the fingers right back behind the shoulders. And then we're going to open the arms again as wide as you can, and this time when you come back, cross the arms the opposite way round, and again just taking the fingers as far back behind you as you can. Wonderful. So I'm going to invite you now to come and lie down on your back, and we're going to do a little bit in the banana pose. So we're going to start in semi-supine, so just coming down with the knees bent hip width apart in front of you, head down on the ground, hands down by the sides, and we're just going to take a moment to be there. Lovely. So I'm going to invite you now just to press into the feet, gently lift your hips up, and then just take them to one side of the mat. It doesn't matter which side you go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the legs down. We're going to take them to the opposite corner of that mat, of the mat. Yeah. And making sure that both sides of the pelvis are dropping down onto the ground. Obviously it will feel more on this side, but seeing if you can have the front of the body facing up. And then you can dig your elbows rather, gently into the earth. And we can just see if we can take the shoulders very gently over to the side. We're going to raise the arms up and I've got my feet over towards the left side of the mat. So I'm taking hold of my left arm, bringing it up in front of me, still trying to make sure that the front of the body is facing upwards. And from here we can just relax. So this is banana pose. You'll feel it all up the side and under the armpit and along the top of the arm, down the outside of that leg. That's beautiful. But the place that we're really focusing on here is the middle of the body here, the Manipura Chakra, shining its yellow light up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. And then we're going to come back to semi-supine, bring the hands down, feet behind the bottom, and then again this time we're going to raise the bottom up and take it all the way over to the other side of the mat. See if you can shift the shoulders over a little bit towards the other side, the opposite side to where the bottom's gone, and take the legs down. And then I can feel that I'm tilting over, so try and rock yourself back over so that you've got the front of the body facing forwards, and taking the opposite hand. Now some people like to cross this foot over the other one, but I actually can't do that without that hip lifting off the ground. If you can do that and you still feel like you've got both hips on the ground, then fine. So we're just relaxing into this for a moment. Lovely. So we're going to come back through semi-supine now, so bringing the hips back into the centre of the mat, shoulders straight up from the hips, feet on the mat behind the bottom, hands down nice and solidly on the floor beside the bottom, and we're going to do a couple of bridge poses. So we're going to inhale and curling up the tailbone, lifting the hips up, pushing the feet into the ground, just bringing the hips up to where feels good. So it might be that you don't want to come too high. And then as we exhale, coming down, we're going to take the seed sound of the Manipura Chakra, which is Ram. So we're going to chant that together. Breathing in to begin. Ram. Beautiful. So we're going to do that again, but this time as we raise up, pushing into the feet, keeping the knees hip width apart, we're going to bring the arms up and over the head to touch the ground behind us. So as we do Ram this time, the arms are coming down. Breathing in to begin. Ram. Beautiful. One more time. So pushing into the ground, curling up the tailbone, lifting the hips as high as they want to go. And then resting here for a moment. So we're now going to bring the arms out at shoulder height along the ground, and we're going to just drop the knees down to one side, it doesn't matter which way you go, and turn the head over the other arm. Take a breath or two there, and then inhaling, coming up to the top and rolling the legs the other way. Couple of breaths there, and then we're going to bring the legs back up to the top. We're going to cross one leg over the other and carry on that movement going over the other way. It's a little bit stronger. If this doesn't feel right, just do it the first way without crossing the legs. And then coming back up to the top, if you're crossing the legs, uncross that one and cross the other one and going over the other way. Beautiful. So from here, I'm going to invite you now to roll over onto your tummy. So we're going to come briefly through the crocodile. Take my scarf off. So lying on your front with your feet a little bit apart with the toes pointing out and head onto the hands like this. Take a nice sigh out there. Beautiful. And then we're going to bring the feet so they're hip width apart with the tops of the feet down. We're going to lift up the head, but keep the hands in that position. And then I'm going to invite you to raise one leg. Try and keep it straight, so try not to be like that. And from here, we're going to make circles with a straight leg, 3 or 4 times one way, and then back the other way. And what we're trying to focus on, you'll be feeling this in the leg, but what you're trying to focus on, doing it on the other side, is that place in the centre of the body. So one way and then the other. Beautiful. And then drop down, drop everything down and take another big sigh out. And then from here, we're going to come back through the child, so gently dropping the bottom down onto the heels if that works for you. Take a moment there. And then I'm going to invite you to come and move into a sitting position. So just coming down like this. So we're in Dandasana now, with the feet pointing up towards the ceiling. In fact, the toes could be coming towards you. Hands down by the sides. And we're going to take a little twist. So we're going to raise one leg. Again, it doesn't really matter which one you do. And if you can put that leg over with the whole of the top of the foot touching the ground. If you're like that with the sole of the foot, then keep it on the same side as it's coming out from. We're going to take opposite arm round this and take the other hand out behind. And we're going to raise up here. And then as we exhale, just move slightly more into the twist. And take a couple of breaths there, easing yourself into the twist on the exhale. And then we'll come back round and we're going to do it on the other side. So lifting up that leg, only crossing the foot over if it works for you. In fact, on this side, I think I'm going to keep it here. And so taking the elbow or the hand around this knee, and then coming into this beautiful twist, raising up on the inhale, exhaling into the twist. Couple of breaths there. Wonderful. So I'm going to invite you now to come round to all fours. So we're going to have sun ray fingers, really spread fingers as wide as you possibly can. Knees underneath the hips. And we're going to inhale, taking the spine downwards, but not flopping down in the belly. Feeling this beautiful place here, shining out forwards. And then as we exhale, we're going to look between the knees. So inhale, shining that yellow light as forward as you can. And exhale, taking the navel towards the spine. One more of those. Beautiful. And then coming back to a neutral spine, and we're about to do the first one of our balances. So moving forward, so you've got space behind you, and we're going to take the one foot out behind you, again it doesn't matter which one, and we're going to just press into the toes, pushing the heel backwards, opening that hamstring there. And then from here I'm going to invite you to lift that leg up. We're going to take a couple of circles one way and then the other, like we did when we were lying down. And then we're going to see if we can take the opposite hand behind. And then bringing that hand down, we'll do that on the other side. So taking the other foot out, pushing into the toes, stretching through the hamstring into that heel. And then we're going to raise that leg, see if we can do a couple of circles one way and then the other. And then raising the other hand and taking it forwards into our balance. Beautiful. Come back and have a moment of rest while I'm talking to you now about the belt. Now, you may need the belt here, you might not. So I would suggest having it anyway. So what I'm going to invite you to do is to have a loop in the end of your belt like that, and loop it round one of your feet. And we're going to be going back into all fours. So have it so it's coming over the opposite shoulder. So I've got it round my foot and it's coming over the opposite shoulder here. I'm going to come back then into my all four position, and I've got it here in case I need it. Okay. And what we're going to do is from this position, sunray fingers again, we're going to inhale and raise the foot that's got the loop on it up into the air. Now, just pull that rope through a bit so you've got it here. Okay. Now I'm going to invite you to take the other hand back behind you and grab on to that rope, to the belt. And if that feels like that is absolutely enough, or it might be that you just feel that you can't do that at all, and that actually you're better to hold it from here and pull the leg up, and if you want to do that, you can do that. But we're meant to be doing a twist here. And if you can grab hold of the foot, either on the outside or the inside, and see if you can look towards the foot and raising that foot up as high as you can. Beautiful. And dropping down. And then we'll just do that on the other side. So swap the belt over and meet me back in all fours. Lovely. So same position but with the other foot. So we're going to raise that foot up, pull the belt through a little bit, and then see what you need to do. So if holding onto the belt is the right thing for you, do that. If you can take hold of the foot, do that. And what we're trying to do is to push out with the foot, out and up, and look towards it. Wonderful. And then we're going to come back down and have a moment in the child. So knees wide, big toes together, dropping down, big sigh out here. So get rid of your belt, and we're going to come up into a lunge now. I'm going to use a block under my knee. And so we're going to step forward into a lunge. Now, if you were following last week's video, we were staying in this kind of swash sticker position here. But this week we're going to come more into the actual lunge. So taking the foot a little bit forward, a little bit in front of the knee, and then seeing how far you can lunge forward. So this is opening this hip, but it's also opening the front of the body here. So from here we're going to take same hand onto the inside of that knee, and then we're going to bring the other arm out behind and look behind us. Couple of breaths there. Beautiful. And then we'll come back and do it on the other side. So if you're using a pad, move that over, stepping forward again so that you've got that foot out a little bit in front, and it might feel completely different on this side. Lunging forwards. So we're going to put same hand on that knee. As we open and twist and look behind us, imagine that yellow light shining out from the middle of the body. Beautiful. And then from here we're going to transition very, very quickly through the dog. So just get rid of anything that's in the way, coming into a long cat, tucking the toes, raising up the bottom, keeping the knees nice and bent, gently dropping the heels towards the ground, letting the head go, and then we're just going to walk hands towards feet, feet towards hands, coming into our Uttanasana, standing forward bend, dropping the body down. Really just let everything go, nice deep bend in the knees. And then when you're ready, you can just gently make your way up into a standing position. So ideally, having a wall next to you is a really amazing prop. Or of course you can use a chair or a table or anything that you've got that you can hold on to if you need it. And I think it's a good idea to have something nearby anyway, and if you don't need it then that's fantastic, but it's there to help you. But we're going to start just by doing a few little practices with balancing. So we can bring the arms out at shoulder height, and we're just going to come up onto the tiptoes and lift that leg and see if you can wiggle around with the ankle a bit. And then we're going to take the whole leg around. So if you're needing to hold on to something, please do. And then we're going to drop that down, and then we'll do it on the other side. So coming up onto the tiptoe, and then lifting that leg, rotating the ankle. And then we'll do the whole leg, one way and then the other. Well done. So we're going to do something else now. We're going to stand to the side so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to just have my hand gently on this wall in case I need it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one leg out behind. So I'm taking the opposite leg to the hand I'm holding on with. And so I'm just taking this leg out behind. And then from here, I'm going to try and keep my body upright, but I'm also going to try and lift that leg out behind, and I can bend it slightly. Lovely. And then we'll just do it on the other side. So bring that one down, take the other leg out behind, and then again, trying to keep the top of the body upright. It will move a bit, but see if you can raise that leg backwards. Beautiful. So that is effectively a dancer pose, but we're going to have a go at the full pose. I'm going to suggest that you get your belt again. So having the belt on the foot that you're going to be lifting, obviously, and so standing here, we're going to do it how we were before. So take that foot out behind, holding on if you need to, raising up that foot. Either, oh, she says nearly falling over. So either holding on with the belt, or if you feel that you can do the foot, then doing that. And I'm starting with it just right directly behind me here. And then again, standing up really tall, taking the foot backwards, and then only if it feels good for you to do so, taking the hand in this mudra out in front, shining your yellow Manipura light forwards for all to see, standing in your power. Beautiful. And now we'll do it on the other side. So same thing, holding on if you need to, getting the thing out behind you like this. So we're going to take that foot backwards first, and then see if you can raise that foot up, either with or without the belt, shining this beautiful yellow light from the Manipura out in front of us. So we're going to bring that foot up. If you can grab hold of it, doing that, otherwise holding onto the belt. If you can take the other hand out in front, shining your yellow light forwards, looking at something ahead of you, breathing here. Beautiful. Well done. Lovely. So let's come down and do a couple of counter poses before the relaxation. So I'm going to invite you to come and sit on the mat, and we're going to start by bringing one foot out to the side and the other foot with the sole of the foot next to the thigh here. And we're going to turn the shoulders to face the long leg here. And from here we're just going to take a gentle forward fold. So this is a little bit of a twist as well. Breathing here. And then we're going to come back up to the centre. We're going to take both feet out to the front. It's not a competition with how wide you can get your legs, just going to where you can. Hands out in front of the body, and then we're just going to let the head drop, rolling forwards like this. Beautiful. And then we'll come up, we'll bring the first leg now up into this position, turning to face the long leg. And again, walking the hands out, just doing what you can do. It feels very different for me on this side. So I'm just doing what I can do, being with what's happening. Beautiful. So I'm going to invite you now to come and lie down on the mat, ready for relaxation. So coming down, if you want to take a little twist here, you might want to do that just to release the back a little bit. And then we're going to take legs out long, about mat width apart, hands down by the sides of the body. We're going to breathe in, and as we exhale, beautiful. So closing the eyes, letting the body drop into the mat. Most important pose of the whole practice, never to be missed. And don't move just because I do. Stay here as long as you want to. So thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure. I do so love making these little videos. If you'd like to come and join me online, please do get in contact with me via the email, and I'm happy to give you information about that. And as I said at the beginning, subscribe if you're not subscribed, like if you like what I'm doing, make a comment which is even more helpful. And thank you so much, very much, thank you. Namaste.